Let's.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another SPADES Community Show. I mean, guys, there are some things going on right now that are absolutely amazing, but this particular show, we're going to be focusing in on some of the charities that we have already, been sponsored and are part of our community. We're going to be talking about just what that looks like. And so, as I like to say, with no further ado, Mr. Stephen Fantle, if you want to take it away and tell us what we're going to be really discussing tonight.
Sure. So tonight we wanted to talk about the charities and beyond just the charities, the groups. Because whether you have a club, even if it's not a charitable organization, or you have a group of people that are trying to do some kind of a project, then SPADES Community was built actually specifically with you in mind. Right now, there are so many wonderful communities out there, from Humanity Rising, the Pathways to Peace, which I'll talk about a little bit more because I actually have an affinity and a love for them. So many of them, and they all just use Facebook. And Facebook mines your data. They have relationships with other types of organizations. And let me tell you right off the bat, I get the irony of the fact that the most people who watch our update videos are in our Facebook group. So it's going to be Facebook that actually carries this message greater than anybody else. But I don't think anybody is under the misimpression that Facebook was built to make money for its investors and the people who founded it, and that it started, well, if you've seen the film The Social Network, under less than auspicious purposes. So we provide an alternative to that. We do not mine anyone's data. There are no ads whatsoever on your social profile pages. There are no ads whatsoever put into your group pages, because the purpose of our site is to not only fund charities, but to give the people that those charities are serving a means to provide those people with a fishing pole, the ability to earn into the digital economy, right? That's how you move out of poverty. And you do it with elements of creativity. You do it by offering classes from things that you're knowledgeable about. I don't know anybody locally who's knowledgeable about Brazilian drum beats or African drum beats, and I like to play drums. I would sign up for a class with them. I might not buy a pair of sandals from somebody in Uganda, for example, because the shipping might be too expensive, but I would totally sign up for $5 or $10 for a class that teaches me how to make my own sandals. I can go to Hobby Lobby and get a little bit of leather and a little piece of wood or whatever it is, because frankly, I don't know what it takes to make a sandal right now, but I think it would be really neat if all of us could become a little bit more sustainable and a little bit more DUI, right? So charities are a tremendous part of what our community is about. We fund charities. You're supposed to nominate and vote for them. And for the most part, you're doing an okay job, but I will say, for people who are watching this video, if you could join in on the vote. I'm going to show you where to do that. It's also on the Facebook page. It's also directly in your login on your dashboard, telling you where you can go to vote. So you can help to choose charities to be funded. The charities bring in their supporters to vote for their charity. The community grows. And that affects also the price of the token for those of you who have simply chosen to invest in the token for our utility. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, everybody needs to make a living, and the economics of wealth have changed. If you're not familiar with that phrase, please go check our blog. I just put up something new that explains this to you, and it's really critical information. So let me just share some screens here.
Real quickly, Stephen, just to kind of highlight what he's talking about. The phrase and what I've heard Stephen say over all the years that I've known him, and I think that this one hits home on the concepts of what he's really talking about, is that instead of shooting a lion, why don't you shoot a lion video? And then there was a separate conversation was happening and explaining that same concept where it's like now the people that would have been shooting the lion are actually wanting to conserve that because that becomes a resource to them, right? It becomes something that they want to protect because that's where their money is now going to be coming from. And it's that kind of concept, that idea that that can actually have the ability to reshape and reform the way that people are earning an income that is truly sustainable, something that doesn't affect earth and nature and all the things that we really want to see grow and become better than what they are.
Thank you, Bobby. I mean,
well, you're welcome,
we're talking about a socio-economic model for the age that we live in, and we don't live. Some of us still live in the industrial age. If you work in a coal mine, you absolutely live in the industrial age, and you have a reason to try to protect that. But moving forward, if you care about the earth and the next generation and their generations beyond that, then we need to look at how we deal with both our social and economic model, right? We can't leave half the world behind.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Not in a sustainable way.
No, because we share the same air, we share the same earth, right? This is as much an environmental instrument for a solution as it is an economic one, and the two go together. It used to be in the industrial age that wealth was created by the capacity to take things from the earth and turn them into energy or turn them into some kind of asset for people, whether it's platinum or it's gold or it's silver, whatever it is. I mean, I got to say, I love watching, the gold mining thing. What is it?
The Rush? The man opera, but either way.
The man opera, Gold Rush. But what they're doing is a completely industrial age model versus an information age model, where somebody who has knowledge can share that with other people, and we can all become more self-sustainable. Look, it's either going to happen or it's not. We're going to do our part. And if it doesn't happen, then the consequences are going to be felt. If we want to participate, we provide you a place to do that. So let me get into the charities right now. Our most recent charitable award winner is Global Women's Water Initiative. They are amazing. They are an amazing organization. There is a video where Lorian and I were talking to Gemma. Lorian's our charitable director. She's actually here tonight. And that conversation actually got started with Gemma asking me questions about cryptocurrency because people don't understand it, and they're going to need to. That's also part of what our platform is going to do, because that's part of the new economic model. You're just not going to be able to get past it. And maybe I'll show you something real quick. So we want to say congratulations to Global Women's Water Initiative. They'll be putting up their group shortly on the site. And if that's something that you want to support, you don't have to do it economically. You can just do it with your vote of confidence by joining the community or sharing it with other people who may be interested in solving some of our world's water problems, which we actually have here in the United States as well. You look at what's happening with the Colorado River and what's happening with Lake Mead and what's happening with power generation. These are not issues that are sequestered to the third world. They're right here in the first world's backyard. All right, so, and I will say it, look, if you're invested in our token and you want to make money, I feel extremely confident, give it a year and a half or so. That's how all cryptocurrencies grow. They go for about a year to a little bit longer as a complete flat line, and then they can go up 4,000 or 5,000%. So if you're only here for the purposes of earning from the currency, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, and we appreciate your support. However, if you are also here because you like the mission of what our token is and the charitable aspect of it, then you might want to hang around just a few more minutes.
Well, even if you're just here to make money from what we're doing, which is not even a bad thing to be here for, right? We're not saying that at all. But what we are saying is that you now get the opportunity to be a part of this, and just by participating, be supporting these charities and be supporting people that are doing the good works, and have a really great feeling and knowing that you're impacting all of these different entities that we're going to be working with.
Absolutely. So one of the larger marketing things, and we have some others, but they're a little bit secret at the moment.
We won't get into that, but there are some really great, you guys, some of the stuff that's happened in the last week, it truly is amazing. We can't talk about it right now, but there are some extremely exciting things that will be contributors to where the Spades token will be at, and the things that will happen because of it. We'll just say it that way.
Right. So look, there's a lot of groups. You can create groups on our system, and two of my favorites have just recently joined. One is still in discussions about how to best use it, which is understandable. Another one is Pathways to Peace, which I've actually worked with now for over a decade, on and off, as I was available. And we just started this yesterday with one of the most really amazing people on the planet that I know of, who gave us her go-ahead to do this. Because Pathways to Peace is a UN-designated peace messenger organization. They have consultative status with the United Nations, with the Economic and Social Council, with a lot of other groups. So if you are a peace builder, if you have an organization that you want to grow and plug into the global peace building community, you actually now have access to that through a group on Spades, right? Where we're not, again, mining your data. We're not taking advantage of the people that you are sharing your group with to have them come in and be a part of it. I'm not going to get into this. It'll speak for itself. We'll see what happens there. But honestly, if you're not familiar with Rotary Club, and in particular their E-Club of World Peace, I suggest you just look it up online. You can, right now it's a private group. It may or may not become public. We'll see what happens there. But this is an amazing group that helps people all over the world with water projects, with poverty projects, with food projects. They are one of the premier organizations in the world, and we are happy that we just get to provide information about them, that they're here in any capacity, and we'll see what capacity that grows into. There's some other groups here. Spades member community. So look, if you're a member of the website, which is completely free, then you can have a voice in what are we going to do at the site? Where are we going? How should the functions of the site work to meet the needs of the people? Cryptocurrency for beginners is huge. That's another group that's here. Dream Culture, last week we didn't do our broadcast, Bobby and I, because actually Dream Culture was the director, the main person. Yeah. Carla was over at our house for dinner, and we're having so much fun and getting into so much conversation about how to break the generational cycles of poverty with the programs that they provide, that we never got a chance to actually do our interview with her. So I'm sorry that we're missing that, but that's going to happen. There's even groups here that if you're just interested in making money, Hyperfund has to do with ways that you can make money. Look, there's all sorts of different things here, including, of course, VIP Prosperity Program, but you got to buy that one. So I won't get into that one too much. It teaches you quite a bit of things. Now, here's what's kind of new since the last update. You can now go to the charities, and you can go to vote. So let's look at the vote. All right. Look, a big part of our community is the fact that we don't mine tokens like Bitcoin or Ethereum. We can release our coins in any way we wish, and we choose to do that through charitable giving, right? We want to support projects that are helping people on the ground. And you, as the members, get to nominate those organizations as long as you've checked with the organization that they will accept a cryptocurrency. There's no reason they shouldn't, quite frankly. Here's our most recent award winner. And the poll will be putting up here very, very shortly so that you can vote on who it is that you want to vote for. And when you come here, let's see, under community news and updates, we'll inform you when it's time to vote and have the actual voting system here at that time. So we hope that you will nominate charities and you will vote for charities so that we can give out those awards, which are quite useful to people. Lastly, I'm going to come over to the blog. It doesn't take long to read our blog. There's one here called Understanding the New Mechanics of Wealth. So I put this up just the other day. This is why people that you care about and for yourselves, you need to pay attention to cryptocurrency. So let's take an example, right? Because wealth is what you can get with what you have. If you save $1, what's it worth in a year, right? If you put it into a treasury or a CD, maybe you can make a couple percent. If you put it into the stock market, if you pick the right stocks, maybe you can make 8, 10, 12%. I mean, you can make quite a good deal. But let's look at cryptocurrencies, because even the most basic of ones make 200 to 300% a year. And I'm trying to put this into a perspective that hits home. So last year in October of 2020, Solano cost $3. Let's say that that was about 1 gallon of gas. Gas was actually cheaper last year. Today, if you would save that $3, if you'd taken $3 and you put it in your bank, now you'd get less than 1 gallon of gas. If you took the same $3 and you bought 1 Solano, then you would now get 48 gallons of gas for that $3. That's a difference of more than 48 times, because now gas costs more than $3. If you want to preserve your wealth, you have to start understanding cryptocurrency. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
That's, well,
I mean, you could say that we're sorry, but I mean, that's, this is the reality of this transition from the industrial age into the information age, understanding the economic model that is what this information age is going to be based on, which is digital currency. And this is what Stephen is really trying to drive home to everybody right now, is that understanding it is putting yourself ahead and then being able to actually profit from that. And I think what we're doing that's different is we're providing utility, community, and even more importantly, we're providing a way to support a lot of charitable causes, so that by participating and making money for yourself, you can also be assisting us in this process of supporting charitable causes that are going to make an impact to do so much amazing things in the world.
It's true. Look, we don't just support charities because it's a nice idea. We all share the world. We live on the same planet. And if we don't address the social, economic, and climatic conditions that are causing problems, collectively, all three of the problems, and collectively as the humans who share this planet, then we're all going to suffer the consequences. So I think we're beyond the time period where we can say, hey, it's just about me.
Right.
Right.
But what I would say to add to that is that it is about everybody that's here. It is about you, right? But it's about you participating in something that furthers a cause while you also benefit for yourself. This isn't about, well, I want to say it this way. The primary issue that I think exists with charities is it's always about having the handout, right? Which is great. So you give $20, right? But you don't get anything out of that. There's nothing that, I mean, other than supporting the charity, which is amazing. But what we're building into this entire ecosystem is a way where by participating and benefiting the charity, you also benefit yourself. And that is going to cause everyone that participates to want to participate more. Because if I just give something and then it goes to wherever it's going, and then I don't even really see how that makes any kind of an impact, my level of participation at that point isn't going to be as much as when I actually get something back out of that for myself and be supporting the charities. And so I'm getting something, that they're getting something, that's going to encourage me to participate more.
Yeah, encouraging people to continue to participate is one side of it. And the other side of it is, if you give somebody a fish with their hand out, they're just going to continue to come back with their hand out, and you've got to go find another fish.
Right.
Our whole proposition is that we can give people a fishing pole so that they can earn on an equitable playing field and import that wealth so that their whole entire communities start to rise and we have a more equitable planet. And look, I don't believe in utopia, okay? I'm not suggesting a utopian planet. I'm just saying, if we want to have a sustainable future, then we have no choice but to address the inequities that have taken place. And there's a way that we can address those without it being the poor take from the rich. Instead, it can be that the poor offer something to the rich that they want, and that there is an equitable exchange of value, so that both parties are happy, and it's not a communist or socialist system where the rich just have to pay because they're rich, right? I mean, I'm relatively well off, but I would be happy to pay somebody to teach me a class about certain things that I would like to learn. And if I transfer my wealth to them, then I get what I want and I'm happy, and we uplift their whole entire community. So,
sustainability, you guys, sustainability. Giving people a vested interest in furthering what we're all doing together in this community. I mean, to me, I once again, and I've said this many times, but if you want to change the way that wealth is distributed, you have to change the way you distribute the wealth. And if you are buying into the old industrial model, that we're going to be continuing into you're going
to die. Listen, this is a perfect, this is the same blog. Everybody, you're going to understand this. Let's say you decided to save $1.60 last year. And at that time, a loaf of bread was $1.60. That would be a cheap loaf of bread, not organic. But at any rate, let's just say
his wife would never let him buy that bread.
Let's say it was $1.60 last year. Now you can take your $1.60 and save it to buy a loaf of bread next year, or you could take your $1.60 and you could have bought 16 Cardano, because Cardano last year was at 10 cents. So you could get 16 Cardano. Now this year, that loaf of bread costs $2.19. Anyone who's been to the market, they understand what I'm talking about, okay? Food is way more expensive. So now, if you save that $1.60 so you can buy bread a year from now, you've lost 30% or so of the value of your dollar. So now you get 2/3 of a loaf of bread. You don't even get one loaf of bread, right? And as I said, Cardano was at 10 cents. So if I wanted to buy a loaf of bread at the same $1.60, it would have cost me 16 Cardano. Look at Cardano when I wrote this. It's actually up even further now. It was $2.19. So instead of the bread costing me 16 Cardano, it cost me 1 cent, 1 Cardano. In other words, if I saved this $1.60 last year, I could now buy my bread for 10 cents. In the equivalent of wealth, this is what you need to understand, is the value of what you have versus what it can get you. And people who are not paying attention to this are going to really, really be behind very quickly, because it's going to cost them 16 times the amount to buy a loaf of bread as it cost Bobby or I, because we said, hey, we get it. I'm going to put a little bit over here into Cardano. So now, instead of the bread costing me 16 Cardano, it costs me 1 Cardano, right? And I bought that 1 Cardano at 10 cents, because that's what it cost when I bought it a year ago. It was only 10 cents. Do you see where this is going? Okay. Look, like I said in this, we used a couple of examples of smaller cryptocurrencies, kind of like SPADES. You know, we're new. Almost all of them, you look at Ethereum right here, right? It started out for a year. It's pretty much a flat line or so. And then it grows, and then people take their profit. We've got people who bought SPADES tokens. Once it hits something like this, they're going to sell them and they're going to take their cash. And that's what happens with cryptocurrencies. But look, it's still up 754% over 1 year. The biggest, Bitcoin, which you're not going to buy a Bitcoin, but you can buy 1/1000th of a percent of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, actually, I wrote this just a few days ago. Let me just go check this. Let's just go check this. I'm going to show you guys this live on the air. Okay. Coinbase.com/price. I wrote this just a few days ago. Bitcoin is now $51,530. 51,000, folks. Where's it? It was $43,000 when I wrote this less than a week ago. So what is it up for? Let's go look. Let's go look. What's it up for 1 week? In 1 week, you make 25%. What do you make in your bank account?
Well, I think the key thing to really pay attention to, everybody, is this. It's not about what you're making. You know, you have to think of it like the stock market. You know, you don't put your money into the stock market because you're going to then pull it out, you know, a week later. You put your money into the stock market so that you can profit down the line. And cryptocurrency is something that it has incredible ups and downs, but it ultimately does continue on this path of going up, regardless of what the experts who either know or don't know what they're talking about try to tell you. At the end of the day, it continues to grow in value. That is the reality of crypto.
That's the bottom line. Look, if you had simply said, I'm going to take $100 in savings.
Not even that much money.
No, $100 a year ago. And now it's over 300%. Let me just see real quick here for 1 year. Okay, let me just say 1 year, 384%. My $100 today would be worth $384. Now, as Bobby was saying, there are volatilities here. You don't want to watch it. You don't want to watch day after day. But look, you have options. You could buy a 1 year CD. You could buy a treasury. You could leave your money in cash, which is unbelievably the worst thing in the world to do. Okay, because it just keeps going down in value. How much did bread cost you last year? How much did meat cost you? How much did your groceries cost you versus what they cost you now? If you keep it in only dollars and you don't start diversifying and moving into this information economy, you are going to lose your value. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And let's look at this. On October 18th, our government's not even going to be able to pay their bills unless they increase the debt limit. Now they're going to go borrow more money, which decreases the value of our buying power. this is in our blog. You can come read our blog, and I really highly suggest you watch this video. You know, I've looked at thousands of videos about what's good, and I think that that's where you need to go. And the other thing you can do is join our group, Cryptocurrency for Beginners. It's completely free, and you can then start to get advice on, if you want to invest a little bit, you can hear different people's opinion. We can't guarantee you're going to make money. We're not financial advisors, but we do have good people who are consistently making a lot of money by simply shifting a little bit of where they're going. And if you join the VIP Prosperity Program, which does cost a one-time $25, then you actually get access to where you can get free cryptocurrency and just sit on it and earn more money. So anyway, back to the whole point of the show, which was charities. We bring in the charities like these, they bring in their users, we provide the tools for their users. The more people who use the system, the greater the value of the token, and the more good we do for the world towards a proper, sustainable, equitable socioeconomic model. And if I had a microphone, I'd do one of those, the drop things. That's it, that's all I got to say.
You saying it was just more than enough, Steve.
Probably. Sorry about it. I apologize.
Well, you know, guys, look, I mean, I think this is probably enough for this particular show, because we don't want to do things that go on too long and beat a dead horse. But, you know, what we are building and what we're doing collectively together, I think, is what is going to have, you know, we will make a major impact on this particular space. And by everybody that's participating with us right now, by being a part of this roller coaster ride, you know, you've got your tickets. Now we are getting ready for the ups and the downs and the fun, but ultimately we're just going to continue to go forward and grow.
Yeah, by the way, the staking pool contract is done. They made a couple of adjustments to it. You will be able to stake your spades if you are holders of spades. You'll make 5% a year. Look, if you know how to do crypto trading, you might choose to do other things, but a guaranteed 5% a year while you sit on your tokens, because it's going to take a year to 2 years before we hit the charts like you saw in all those graphs I just shared with you, right? This is the way it works. Flat lines and then gets adopted and it goes up. So you're going to want to hold them anyway. So if you want to make an extra 5%, then you'll be able to use the staking pool, and we will put out a notice on the website. Look, anyone watching this who does not have an account on the website yet, just go get one. It's free.
It's free.
You don't have to join Prosperity Program, even though you'll be out hundreds of dollars of free cryptocurrency, but that's fine. At any rate, you can always join later, but it's free. It's free to join the community. It's free to get involved. It's free to create your own groups or clubs. It's free to create social profiles where you can share your skills, you can share your services. If you have something to sell, you can do that here. And we encourage you to do so because we want everyone to prosper from the information age economy. So thank you.
Yes, many blessings on everybody. We appreciate your time and spending it with us. We will be back for another show, and if not next week, definitely the following, because we just want to keep you guys up to date with what's going on. I just have to say, and although we can't even talk about it, guys, there is something that we are working on right now that, I mean, we can't talk about it, but there's a very real world, everything in life is a possibility, but this is definitely something that will drive a ton of traffic, a ton of people to our community. It is going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, there's so many things I want to say right now that I can't say it because we've got to make sure that we get it solidified first, but it really is going to be absolutely amazing. I just connected some of the dots today after talking to Stephen, and it's just amazing. It's just truly amazing, and we look forward to being able to tell you guys more about it as we begin to develop and bring it out.
We'll tell you soon enough. But
really
anyway, just anyway, just like
Yeah.
just
know that there's so many different things that are going on right now.
use the functions that we've provided you,
Yes.
or just use your profile to share pictures and videos and stuff with your friends if you want. Invite them over to see it here instead of on Facebook, because we're not mining your data, we're not listening to your conversations, and we're not trying to sell you whatever it is that you happen to have discussed with somebody on your phone or through your app or put on your page. We are here as a charitable organization, and the purpose of our token is to actually fund the technology tools so that you can all be safe and we can help all the world move into a more sustainable and equitable socioeconomic model. That's what we're here for. So
I don't know if there's anything else I could say. So have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys on the next show.